Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome. Can you hear me and see me fine? Is my audio and video okay? Am I audible and visible? Can someone confirm before we start the live? Good morning, Gian Marie. I hope that I pronounced your name right. You can type the phonetics if I pronounced it wrong. And thank you for joining. Welcome, welcome to this live. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. So, are you a first timer here? Because, yeah, I don't remember your name. Um, we have been doing this Wheel of Wisdom series since the start of this January, and this is our 33rd session so far. Um, okay, this is your first time. I'm so happy that, this was going on your screen and you decided to tune in. I hope that you receive, the guidance today that you're here for to receive, that was meant to come your way through this live. So, let me tell you a little bit about myself before we begin, because I see new people here, like in the, floating heads also. So, yeah, so my name is Anisha Maheshwari, and hi, Caitlin. Hi, I'm so happy to see you here again. Thank you for coming and keep coming back. I love having you and each and every one of you. I see now some familiar faces. I see Ehsa, I think. Yeah, if I remember the name correct. I know your face, but I don't know the name. Caitlin says Grand Rising and Happy Spring Hudson Valley, NY. Yeah, thank you for bringing that positive energy with you, Caitlin. So, for those of you who are new, I was just introducing myself. So, my name is Anisha Maheshwari. I have been on Insight Timer for more than 2.5 years now. And I have seven courses here related to mindfulness, related to dealing with negative thoughts, limiting beliefs, dealing with monotony and stuff like that. And I have over 30 plus tracks here, including a playlist of mindfulness meditations as well as, self-soothing techniques. So that's some of my work to give you an idea. Hello Cindy, welcome, welcome. I'm happy that, you caught on to this live, that, universe brought you to this beautiful space and you are now sharing your wonderful energy with all of us. So Cindy is joining us from Delaware. Wonderful. So, yeah, so that's a little bit about me. And let me tell you guys about what we do in these lives, especially, Cindy and Jeanne Marie. So, what we do is that we have a wheel. That's why Wheel of Wisdom. So, we have a wheel. On that wheel, there is some randomly selected books. So, currently, we have 31 randomly selected books out of the many books that I've read in the past 8 years. And we have the names of those books in that wheel. So, what we do is that we spin that wheel, and from a space of more openness, from more receptivity, from, after tuning into our higher frequencies and settling in and all of that. So, after that, we spin the wheel. That wheel selects a book for us to read today, for us to receive some wisdom from today. Um, yeah, so that book, as I was reading some of the books, I made notes of the most powerful insights of the transformative practices from those books. So what I do is that I open those notes from that particular book. I close my eyes. I set an intention for all of us here, and then I tune into my intuition. And with my eyes closed, I scroll through the book. until I feel that this is the section that everyone needs to receive some wisdom from. This is the section that contains the guidance for everyone that is present in the space. So, yeah, so we just read through that wisdom, that piece of wisdom that is being given to us through universe, God, higher self, divine consciousness, whatever you believe in. So, yeah, just because it is not just, universe is talking to you in this particular life through me or through those books, but it is always, we are always in connection with that divine. It's just, we get distracted or we get lost in whatever is happening in their lives, and we forget to tune into that inner wisdom, because everything that would be said in this life or have been said in previous lives, there are chances that most probably you already know that, at least deep within you, you know that definitely. But sometimes, all we need is a reminder at the right time. So since you are here, I am in this space. The assumption here is that this is the right time to receive that particular piece of wisdom for you, and to not only just receive it, to think of it, and to apply it into your life in whatever manner you can. So just taking an action based on that. So that's what we do in these lives. So we usually start these meditations, sorry, these lives with a meditation. So are you guys ready for a meditation? Are you guys up for a meditation? If you are, type ready in the comments so I also know, I also get an idea of the energy here. Okay, Cindy says yes. Gian Marie says ready. It's so nice to see that, new people also who are here for the first time are interacting and, posting the comments. I love that. I love that. Thank you guys. Caitlin says yes, ready. Okay, Caitlin. So you can also drink some water before we begin, and then we will sit in a meditation to settle ourselves, to open ourselves. So begin by coming into a comfortable position. You can either stand, sit, or lie down, whatever your body needs right now. As you are settling in to this posture, allow your eyes to gently close, moving your awareness from the outer world to your inner world. An inner world that is rich with everything that you need, and with all the questions or the answers that you are after. So, as your attention is turned inward, becoming aware of the surface beneath you, bringing your attention to this point of contact between your body and the surface. feeling supported by Mother Earth. Not only letting go of the weight of your body onto the surface, but also letting go of any tension and worries. And now that you are fully supported by Mother Earth, bringing your awareness to the another way in which life supports you, which is your breath. Becoming aware of the air flowing in through your nose and moving deep into your belly. And finally, leaving your body back through the same pathway. Continue to notice the air moving into your belly and out of your belly. Each in breath is bringing a feeling of refreshment, and each out breath is taking away any stress in your body or on your mind. Now, as you continue to breathe gently and deeply, allow yourself to listen and even repeat the following affirmations after me. These affirmations are about allowing rest into your life. So let's start. I give myself permission to rest. I give myself permission to rest. Rest is not a reward but a necessity. Rest is not a reward but a necessity. When I allow myself to slow down, I come back more stronger and focused. When I allow myself to slow down, I come back stronger and more focused. Rest is a powerful way to recharge so I can show up fully when I need to. Rest is a powerful way to recharge so I can show up fully when I need to. Rest is a part of getting things done. Rest is a part of getting things done. Rest isn't something I have to earn, but it's something I deserve every day. Rest isn't something that I have to earn, but it's something that I deserve every day. I honor my body and my mind by allowing myself to rest when I need to. I honor my body and my mind by allowing them to rest when needed. Now, as you let these affirmations sink deeper, imagine a soft, warm light surrounding your body. The light holds you gently and whispers, it's safe to let go. It's safe to let go. And as you feel this light wrapped around your head, your shoulders, your hands, your chest, your abdomen, your back, your pelvic region, and your legs. As you notice this light wrapping around your body, feeling your body become lighter and lighter as you shed the weight of expectations from others and yourself to be productive all the time. As you continue to feel light, place a hand on your heart and give yourself permission to rest. So say to yourself, I give you permission to do dash, and whatever it is that you need, fill the dash with that. For example, I give myself the permission to take a nap in the afternoons. So, taking a moment to give yourself such a permission. Remember that you are worthy of rest. Wonderful. And now, as we reach the end, taking a deep breath into your body, filling it with fresh oxygen. and out, releasing any resistance to follow through on that request or permission. Taking two more deep breaths like this at your own pace. And now, with the next exhale, begin to slowly open your eyes, connecting back with the environment around you. If anyone joined us during the meditation, then I want to let you know that firstly, welcome, and secondly, this is just one part of today's life. So you can stay tuned. There is a lot more that is going to happen. Okay, so if anyone feel called to share their experience of the meditation with all of us, then I would love to hear that in the comments. And if you don't feel like typing, you can always press the heart to let me know that this meditation resonated with you at some level. Let's read the comments. We have some beautiful comments. So Caitlin says, beautiful. Wow. I had been reflecting on resting and recharging myself and finding balance between resting and doing. So this was super fitting and also very relaxing. Thanks, Anisha. Beautiful journey. Wow, I'm so glad that, this magical thing happened and you got what you really needed and what you have been working on, in your life right now, Caitlin. I'm so happy for you. And thank you for your kind review or feedback on the meditation that we just did. Cindy says, loved all the affirmations. I'm glad to hear that, Cindy, that you resonated with the words. Hmm. Jian says, yes, I agree. The affirmations were powerful. Yeah, weren't they? I am glad that, you guys just were so open to receive that, to receive those words. Because, yeah, it has become our tendency to see like rest as kind of a reward that once I get this done, then I will give myself rest or then I will take a break. But I usually like use this example or a reminder that we are just our body is like just like a machine, like maybe this phone, and it needs a break once in a while, otherwise it will get hot and it will like hang and not function that effectively that it can when it gets a little bit break between and then we again operate it. So yeah, rest is super important and so that's why we did that permission part because we don't allow ourselves to rest. So yeah, taking a moment to allow ourselves to do certain things because sometimes it's not the other people, but our own expectation and our own standards and our own definitions are effective, efficient, capable, and stuff like that. So I'm glad that this meditation resonated with you guys. Okay, so now we are going to move to the second part. I guess the fun part, I like to call it, of this, you know, live. Give me a minute to like open the wheel. And by the way, okay, Jacqueline is here. Hello, Jacqueline. Welcome back. I'm so happy to see you here back again. It's so nice to see so many familiar faces and so many new ones today. I see so many new people here today as well. And I'm so glad that, this was going on your screen and you chose to tap in, you chose to tune into this. And I believe that you were meant to be here and you were meant to listen to the words that are going to come out of me as I read or as I contemplate on what I read. So thank you for being here. I appreciate your presence. Okay, guys. So yeah, I was thank you for the hearts. I see you and I appreciate you. Um yeah, I was saying that since Cindy and Jian like loved the affirmations. So I wanted to let you know, guys, that this is getting like recorded and you can always like access the replay of it. So if you would like a reminder once in a while, or maybe like reprogram your mind if it has been like brainwashed into believing that rest is bad in some way, so yeah, you can always like replay it and go through that meditations again, listen to that affirmations again, especially when you go to sleep or when you wake up in the morning, because at that time you are in that hypnagogic and hypnopompic state and all of those receptive states basically. So yeah, and the way to access is it, like the replay of this, is that you can go to my profile. You can go to about section in my profile, scroll down, there is a link tree there. Click on the link, you will see Wheel of Wisdom replay there. So I have like created a whole playlist for you guys. It includes like all of the previous lives as well. So the 32 lives done before as well. And I like to like invite you to tune into your own intuition when you go through that playlist, is because I've numbered each and every one of those lives. So what I invite you to do is that when you don't see me going live and you want to receive some wisdom or some guidance in relation to whatever is going on in your life, I want you to open that playlist of Wheel of Wisdom, choose a number between 1 to 33, and whatever number comes up for you, you can watch that particular live and trust that what you need to hear, the guidance, the right wisdom at this right time is there in that. And just be open and receptive to that. So you don't need to depend on me on the times when I'm not live. So yeah, that's how you can access the replays, and that's how you can also access today's replay. Um, yeah, because like, and do the meditation part, do the affirmations part again if you are interested. Okay, going back to the fun part. Okay, guys, so this is like the Wheel of Wisdom that we have. It has names of like 31 books right now. And um before we like, spin this wheel, and it's okay if you cannot read the name of the books. The one that is going to be chosen is going to come in bold letters. But before we do that, what I invite you to do is that I invite you to reflect and share in the comments that what is it that you need guidance on today. In which area of your life would you like some clarity? You can share the general theme of something that you are going through. So just declare it to the universe, to consciousness, to higher self in the comments that what do you need some clarity on, wisdom on, guidance on, direction towards. So yeah, share it, and it also helps you become clear in your mind that what has your mind been occupied with. And it's always a nice way to affirm, to like declare it with words rather than letting it get all jumbled up in your mind. So I will wait for 1 minute if in case anyone wants to share what they would like guidance on. And if there is nothing specific that is going on in your life that you would like guidance on, then you can just say that I'm open to receive some general guidance, for the rest of the day or for tomorrow or even for this week. So just set an intention so you get the most out of this time and this space. Okay. Cindy says, been stuck lately, not has energized and have been dealing with health issues for almost 2 years. That sounds, frustrating to some end and overwhelming maybe also. And I'm sending you so much healing, Cindy. I'm sending all that healing energy to the cells of your body and hoping that they find the nourishment as well as the strength to fight any infection or any external bodies. Okay, let's see. And you guys can also send some healing energy to Cindy. Maybe press the hearts to just let that loving energy her way to just spread that love and healing to her. Wow, that is so beautiful. Thank you guys for doing that. Yeah. Okay. Cindy says I'm open to whatever guidance arrives. Wonderful. Yeah, being receptive here. Caitlin says the internal struggles and acceptance and things of being both student and teacher. Yeah. Hmm. A wonderful combo, You get to experience both sides of it, Caitlin. And yeah, there are struggles. And there is also perspective gain, in terms of playing both different types of roles, even in different avenues of your life. But yeah, you know, maybe one will help you become better in the other domain. Who knows, right? So I'm hoping that you receive that guidance, on that particular thing of acceptance and struggles. Cindy says it has strived by my independence, but I have been learning to listen to myself more. Mhm. Yeah, I can't imagine, Cindy, what your daily life must look like with a limitation in terms of, physical health. But it's nice to hear that, you are using it, you are using this, I don't know, opportunity, not opportunity, but instance or situation in your life as a way to be able to listen to yourself more, to your body more, to, whatever part of you wants to talk to you, to that part more, giving yourself that attention, that care, and everything, and that love. So, yeah, that's a nice, perspective. Thank you for sharing that with all of us. And maybe someone else who is going through that, any physical health issues might see this positive aspects of the situation. And I hope that you receive some guidance on that, Cindy. Okay, Caitlin says yes, in all the different areas, such an intricate relationship of dichotomy. Yes, isn't it? Okay, guys, so now we are going to spin the wheel. Let's see what wants to come through. I think it is one of the first books that I read that were related to consciousness and spirituality. And it was a wonderful book. I loved it. So the name of the book is The Untethered Soul by Michael. I'm forgetting the pronunciation of it. But Michael A. Singer. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so let's open the book and see, what wants to come through from this beautiful piece of book. Okay. These are like kind of my notes from this book. And now it's time to tune into my intuition. May your heart feel full after listening to whatever that comes through. Let's see what came through. Just a second, I'm finding the start of this paragraph. Okay. Yeah. It is interesting given the intention that I set today. Okay. So the paragraph that came up, the author says, okay, yeah. Although various energy centers exist within you, the one you intuitively know the most about opening and closing is your heart. The yogis call energy centers chakras. This flow of energy comes from the depth of your being. It's been called by many names. In ancient Chinese medicine, it is called qi. In yoga, it is called Shakti. In the West, it is called spirit. Call it anything you want. All the great spiritual traditions talk about your spiritual energy. They just give it different names. Energy doesn't get old, it doesn't get tired, and it doesn't need food. What it needs is openness and receptivity. When you close, the energy stops flowing. When you open, all the energy rushes up inside of you. there was a lot more before this paragraph as well as after this paragraph, but I felt like reading these particular lines. So I'm curious, as I read those lines, what came up for you? Does these lines resonate with what you were looking for or what you are going through in any manner? Because as I was reading this paragraph, for me, it came up for me that that thing that I'm not the body, and yeah, and identifying with the energy instead, with the spirit, with every different name that is being called in different traditions, and also using my heart to tune into that wisdom of that energy of that beingness, you know, by sensing that is the answer yes when I feel an opening in my heart, and is the answer no when I feel a constriction or a closing in my heart. That is something that came up for me as I was reading it, and I'm curious if it speaks to anyone who is present here. And if it does, you can share it in the comments or maybe share what came up for you as I read those lines, because I do believe that someone here needed to hear that and got something out of it. So, yeah, so you can share it in the comments or you can press the heart if the reading resonated with you. Thank you for letting me know. I completely understand that not everyone wants to, you know, be proactive and type and stuff. So it's completely okay to press the hearts instead as well. I'm going to just open it and see, do I feel like reading the starting of the paragraph as well because I'm feeling called to. Just a second. Okay, let's read that as well. Hmm. Just as everything that happens outside in the physical world requires energy, everything that happens inside requires an expenditure of energy. For example, if you concentrate on a thought and another thought interferes, you will have to exert an opposing force to fight the interfering thought. That requires energy and it can wear you out. Likewise, if you have a thought that you are trying to hold in your mind, but it keeps drifting off, you have to willfully concentrate to bring it back. When you do this, you are actually sending more energy to the thought in order to hold it in a given place. You also assert energy to deal with your emotions. If you have an emotion you don't like and it's interfering with what you are doing, you just push it aside. You do this almost instinctively so that the unwanted emotion doesn't come up and disturb you. Every one of these acts is an expenditure of energy, creating thoughts, holding on to thoughts, recalling thoughts, generating emotions, controlling emotions, and disciplining powerful inner drives all require a tremendous expenditure of energy. Where does all this energy comes from? Why is the energy there sometimes and at other times you feel completely drained? Have you ever noticed that when you are mentally and emotionally drained, food doesn't help that much? Conversely, if you look at the times in your life when you were in love or excited and inspired by something, you were so filled with energy that you didn't even want to eat. You have a phenomenal amount of energy inside of you. It doesn't come from food and it doesn't come from sleep. The only reason you don't feel this energy all the time is because you block it. You block it by closing your heart, by closing your mind, and by pulling yourself into a restrictive space inside. The message that came up for me as I was reading that was to open ourselves to that energy, to, you know, open up those blockages that we have created that prevents the flow of that energy, that vital energy, that life force within us, that spirit, that chi, that shakti, that, anything that you want to call it. So allowing just, to open ourselves to that and to let it flow within us so that we have that energy to do all of these different things, to just flow freely within our systems. Okay, let's see, there are some comments. Caitlin says, whoa, earlier I heard that power is infinite and force is draining. So this so resonates. Exactly. The term resistance is coming up for me. Definitely more draining than just leaning into the thing and finding new outlooks and relationship with your point of view. Exactly. The first instance that was coming for me, that concept of, non-attachment, that neither trying to cling on to something, whether it is a pleasant thought or a pleasant emotion, because it takes a lot of energy. And it is also a form of resistance in terms of not accepting the reality that that unpleasant thought or emotions, no matter how wonderful it is temporary. And similarly, with that thing that is unpleasant, you're always trying to avoid it, those unpleasant thoughts, by trying to replace it with something else, by forcing it out, as the term, I love the term that, Caitlin used, that force and, power are different, connecting that power with that more of that life source, and force with something that drains us of our energy. And resistance fits very well into that as well, because that unpleasant thought or emotion is a part of our present experience. And by resisting, we are not accepting the present reality. So I guess that touches upon the acceptance part, which Caitlin mentioned is, at the start when I asked that what do you need guidance on? Okay, there are some more comments. Okay, I will read through them. Caitlin says, whoa, energy from source because we are light. Loving this. I'm glad that you're resonating with that with this plate, Caitlin. Let me drink some water before I read the next comments. It's so amazing to always feel something larger than us, within us, with us, around us. Ah. Okay, Jeanne Marie says, I find the topic of energy very complex. Seems like I learned something new about it all the time. So do I. I am learning with you guys as well, all these wonderful gems of lines that came through. I am learning so much as well each time. There is so much to learn, and yet there is, I feel like we already know everything. We haven't tapped into it, or we just need an external reminder at some times. Cindy says thoughts can overwhelm you, finding new ways to release these. I do journaling, EFT tapping, and various meditations and classes in Insight Timer. Wonderful. Yeah, Insight Timer is rich with all of these beautiful, wonderful tools by like people from that have you know that brings so much diversity, and that brings so much variety of different ways to apply the same technique. So yeah, I love using Insight Timer to just process and express and release. Cindy says photography and being artistic is also a healer for me. One day I was walking in a nature park, winter though, and found multiple hearts along my path. Wow. In snow formations, rock shapes, flowers, and tree bark. Found 8 hearts with a dear friend of mine. Felt the love, support, and strength of the message. Wow, that is so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, Cindy. And it is also interesting that you found 8 hearts, because eight is kind of also like a symbol of infinity. So there is just infinite love around you, and it's there to remind you, you know, it's there to make you experience that love, make you experience that support. So thank you for sharing all of these wonderful things with all of us, Cindy. Okay, guys. Hmm. So I was wondering, should I read another set of lines from this very same book, or should we spin again, because we do have some time? So share your votes in the comments and let me know. Do you want the same book, like read another set of lines from the same book, or do you want me to spin the wheel again and see, what different books come up, what different book come up? So yeah, I'm waiting for your vote. Cindy says spin again. Yeah, it is always fun. Jian says spin again. Okay, wonderful. So we are going to spin again. Yeah, and I'm hoping that, if in any case, you haven't received the wisdom yet that you're here, that you haven't received that piece of guidance that just clicks with you, then that happens with you with this next spin. Vardhani, welcome, Vardhani. I'm glad to have you here. I'm glad to have each and every one of you here. You guys make the space what it is. So Vardhani also says spin. Okay, thank you for voting in. Okay, we will spin. Firstly, like, let me just, um, open the wheel. Hmm, Okay. So holding in your mind whatever you need guidance on today. Hmm. So the book, the amazing book that came up is Taking the Leap. I love always like it's just an encouragement to just dive into that uncertainty and just taking the leap, having the faith, believing not only that in that higher power but in yourself and everything. That this title just reminds me. This title just feels like a quote in itself for me. The name of the book. So the name of the book is Taking the Leap, and it is written by the author Pema Chodron, whose work is amazing. I loved her books. Okay, let's see. So let's do this a little bit different this time. So I want you guys to choose a number between 13 and 130. So 13 to 130. Choose a page number. And yeah, this time we are going to tune into your intuition. Vardhani, the name of the book is Taking the Leap by Pema Chodron. And by the way, guys, I do post like whatever lines that I read in this and the name of the books and everything in my community here on Inside Timer. The name of the community is Wonderful Beings. So you can like the way you can access it is, let me just tell you that before we go on. Okay, Vardhani has chosen the number 9. Wonderful. Other people, you can also like maybe choose a number if you want. Vardhani says, oops, 71. Hmm. Okay, let's see. We will try to read something from both 9 and 71 because I feel like if 9 came up, even by mistake, there might have been some message here for you or anyone else. Okay, guys, so the way to join my group, to join that little community of mine on Inside Timer to get access to like whatever I'm reading is. So when you go to my profile, this is my profile, Anisha Maheshwari. And when you like scroll down, so at the bottom you will see Wonderful Beings. So you can either like go to my profile and join that, or you can search for it in on Inside Timer. So what I do is that even though this is getting recorded, and um again, for those of you who have joined, you can access the replay by going to my profile in the About section. You will see a link tree. Click on the link tree, Wheel of Wisdom Replay. So that would be visible in that link. And yeah, you will get access to all the previous lives recording there. And it does take like, it is like an more than an hour long session. So it takes like 1 hour to get uploaded on my channel. But that's why, after the live, within 5 minutes or so, I just post the lines and the name of the books that we read in each live in that group of Mind Wonderful Beings. So, yeah, you can always have an early access to that. Okay, Cindy has chosen a number as well, 26. Cindy says, thanks for showing where to find your sources. Thank you, Cindy, for so patiently listening to me. Okay, so let's dive in. So the page number that beautiful Vardhani has chosen is 9. We're going to do with both, Vardhani, both of your numbers. And guys, if and it's okay if you have like if you are not choosing a number, but just trust that whatever is going to come through, it is not specific to that particular person. It is just for the space. So any number that you chose, it is not specific to you. If it is, then it's wonderful. But it is just for the space and it is for everyone to hear. So yeah, just opening yourself to receive any piece of guidance that is hidden in the lines. Hmm. Okay. By the way, it is interesting that since Vardhani, shifted from 9 to 71, I haven't marked anything on page number 9, but still I'm going to read a paragraph from it just because. Okay, so the author says, we think it's natural, even sane, to run away from those kinds of unpleasant feelings. If you decide quite enthusiastically that every time you open your computer, you are going to pause, then when you actually open your computer, you may have an objection. Well, now I can't pause because I'm in a rush and there are 40 million things to do. We think this inability or this reluctance to slow down has something to do with our outer circumstances because we live such busy lives. But I can tell you that I discovered otherwise. Yeah, but I can tell you that I discovered otherwise. When I was on a 3-year retreat, I would be sitting in my small room looking out at the ocean with all the time in the world. I would be silently meditating, and this queasy feeling would come over me. I would feel that I had to rush through my sessions so I could do something more important. When I experienced that, I realized that for all of us, this is a very entrenched habit. The feeling is quite simply not wanting to be present. Caitlin says, this is the second time today I'm hearing this exact message. I hear you, Spirit. I shall do the pauses and enjoy the little pieces of presence. Yeah, I was about to say the same, that it is interesting that we did a meditation on resting, on pausing, on taking a break at the start of the session. And again, we received this reminder to pause and especially, you know, highlighting the struggles to pause and the mind and what exactly that our mind tells us that there is something more important to do. I have to do all of these different things, or, you know, that, yeah, I need to just, I need to do this, and then I will rest. So, yeah, all of these different ways our mind tries to stop us from pausing, from resting, from allowing ourselves to take a break. Vardhani says it is so important to being present at all times. Yeah, isn't it? I felt like pausing. I felt like pausing. So my video was not stuck. And that's what I am inviting you to do today is that once you end this live, I want you to take a minute to pause after this live before you move on to the next thing in your life. Cindy says page 9 was meant to be, isn't it? Yeah, it came through you, Cindy, right? So listening more to our intuition in some sense. Okay, there are some comments that I missed. Cindy says I resonated as well as being present. Taking the nap is my agenda for today. Wonderful, Cindy, wonderful. I'm glad that you decided that. Had too much on my mind yesterday. You deserve that. You deserve that rest. And you need it, since you mentioned that your mind has been super busy lately. So, yeah, wonderful, Cindy. I'm happy for you. And maybe, you will inspire others here to set such an agenda for themselves to take a pause to rest in any way that, they feel best for themselves. And if you guys are inspired by Cindy, you can also mention your commitment, your agenda in the comments, just commit here. Um, use the space. Okay, Vardhani says, I used to do an in service for corporate people, pause to power up. Wonderful. Yeah, that is such a vital message that needs to be delivered, in this fast-paced world, in this busy world. That pause empowers us, that pause gave us the strength, the resources, and all of these different things to act intentionally, to act in an aligned manner. Let's see. Caitlin says, good for you, Cindy. Vardhani says, it really helps. Wonderful. Jeanne Marie says, it's interesting how on some days being present is so much more difficult than on other days. And it's also interesting that on those days, I think we need that even more, when it is so difficult for us to take a break because we have been driving whatever it is, whether it is your mind or your body, continuously, and the external circumstances also maybe seem like pressuring us. And that is the one thing that I have recommended to so many of my clients to just take a pause. Just take a pause before doing something, before reacting, before speaking, before, whatever it is. And it is so powerful. It reminds me of that quote by that Holocaust survivor, that between stimulus and response, there is a pause, and in that pause lies our freedom. So, this quote is by Viktor Frankl, who is also a psychologist and who wrote a famous book, Man's Search for Meaning. And I always resonated with that quote so very much because it highlights the power of being present, of mindfulness, of being intentional. Okay, let's see. There are so many comments here. Caitlin says I'm relaxing by working on my crochet today for a bit before I have to run errands. Wonderful, Caitlin. Yeah. And guys, by the way, Caitlin is another Insight Timer teacher here, a wonderful teacher, an authentic teacher. And I don't think she is. Caitlin, are you not doing any lives currently? I know your life has like added some new stuff. So like you have life has added some new stuff into your current routine. But yeah, I have attended Caitlin's previous lives and they have been wonderful. We have such lively chat as she creates something beautiful at like when she is on the live. So yeah, if you guys are interested in crocheting or just simply connecting with her, you can check out her lives or just check out her profile. Okay, Caitlin says there is gonna be some next week again. Yes. Okay, wonderful. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I was wondering you haven't had some lives since some time, and yeah, I was checking out whether you have some upcoming lives planned, Caitlin. Okay, let's move on to the next comment. Jian Marie says, yes, I am crocheting as well. So therapeutic and relaxing. Wonderful. Then you're going to definitely love Caitlin's life. Okay, Caitlin mentions Gian Marie. I have a crochet circle on here a couple of times. Next week, maybe you could join one. We chat and I crochet. Yeah. Okay. So let's move on to the next page number. And before we move on, I also wanted to let you guys know something. Um, Especially the women here, the wonderful, beautiful women here. I am actually giving out a gift. I am offering a powerful coaching session with me. So, if you are interested in a 1 hour free coaching conversation, a coaching session with me, if you are interested in working with me in having some support, some guidance in relation to whatever is going on in your life, and receive some powerful insights by the end of the session, because each woman I have worked with in the past few weeks have gained such powerful insights by the end of the session. So that is for sure for you. So if that is something that you're interested in, if you would like to grab onto this gift, then you can message me on Insight Timer. And the way to message me is that when you go to my profile, just a second. Yeah. So when you go to my profile, you see a follow button here if you're not following me. So in order to message me, you have to follow me. So like once you follow me, yeah, the follow button becomes a donate button. Above it, three dots appear. Click on the three dots, go to message teacher option, and here you can message me that yeah, that Anisha, I'm interested in that offer, that I would love to work on myself. So if you are a woman, or if you know of a woman who is interested in stepping into their highest potential and creating a fulfilling life, then I would love to have a conversation with you, and I would love to give you my all. And just my aim is to make your life a little bit easier by the end of that conversation. So feel free to reach out to me. Um, yeah, so that is about the gift that I'm offering right now. And let's move on to the next page number. Let me check what was the page number. 21 and 26. Okay, let's go with 26 first. Okay, so the author says, we are not referring to giving up the things themselves. We are talking about losing our attachment to those things. In general, Buddhism encourages us never to reject what is problematic, but rather to become very familiar with it. And so it is here we are urged to acknowledge that attachment that we have, see it clearly, experience it fully without acting out or repressing. So, those were the lines on page number 26. And basically, they are touching on that very same thing related to that. The learning here, the wisdom here is not to deny it or not to say that there is no problem, because denial never resolves anything. It only complicates things. But it's about recognizing that attachment is there, seeing that suffering, sitting with it, in a manner, experiencing it, allowing it to unfold, in front of your awareness, within your awareness, within your loving presence, allowing it to unfold and just paying that attention to it, because that part of you is craving for your attention, and that's why, there is pain, because that pain is trying to catch your attention. It is trying to make you see it, recognize it, be with it. And in this way, we are not repressing it, we are not shoving it away in any manner, we are not trying to get rid of it. And we are also not trying to, let me see what was the last word. Yeah. And we are also not trying to act out of it, like react based on it. So if I'm feeling like anger within me, so I'm not like acting out of it, or neither I'm trying to suppress that anger in some manner, maybe by denying the reality, but it is about being with that anger, seeing it clearly, seeing the fears behind that emotions, seeing what this part needs and what this part wants to say to us. And within that, we would unfold that inner wisdom, that information that wants to come through, that was trying to get our attention. Okay, there's a comment. Cindy says, Gian Marie, I agree, being gracious on ourselves. And I use the 5 4 3 2 1 for centering with open or closed eyes. Deep breaths in for 3, hold breath 4, and breathe out 7. 5 things you can hear, 4 things you can see. Yeah, 3 things you can touch. Yeah, yeah, it is interesting, Cindy, that you mentioned that. I actually have a whole track guiding you guys through that, 5 4 3 2 1, and I love that practice. I actually that is that one tool that I so often used in between my breaks to just, become more present and become more centered. So, in case you want some guidance on that, let me like show you the track. And if not, that's okay. Um, just a second. Yeah. So again, if you go on my profile and you will scroll down, just a second, I think there is a reflection. Yeah. So I have like created a whole playlist of, self-regulation or, self-soothing techniques, emotion regulation techniques. And in that, I have just a second, yeah, this 5 4 3 2 1 track there. So in case you would like some guidance or you would like to try some other techniques, then you can definitely go through that. And since we mentioned the techniques and we also talked about this particular thing, let me remind you again that these techniques, either it is 5 4 3 2 1, either it is any breathing technique, it is not there to avoid that unpleasant feeling. It is not there so that we can get rid of it, we can repress it, suppress it. So it is not there for that purpose. Because initially when we come across these techniques, we are like, okay, when I feel anxious and angry, then I will like start practicing these breathing techniques, and I will settle down. So here's the thing, this is just another way of repressing it. The correct way to use these techniques is to use them to assist you in trying to process these feelings and try to feel these feelings. So maybe if initially you are feeling overwhelmed and you cannot um bear, being with these feelings, you cannot tolerate being with these feelings right now, it is just too overwhelming, it is just out of your window of tolerance, then you can use these techniques to come, like, to decrease the level a little bit, so that now you have like some resources available. You that emotional intensity is at that level that now you can be with those emotions, you can process them, you can even reflect on them, you can learn from them, you can give them the love and care and attention, everything, and then express it in a manner that aligns with your values, that aligns with the way you want to be. So yeah, that whole process. So these techniques are actually there to assist you in that, and not use them as another tool to repress it. So yeah, that is another important reminder, because initially I used these techniques in that manner, and that don't help, because our intention behind using these techniques is that so that I don't feel that emotion anymore. And that is because that energy is going to remain in our body, and it is going to get stored in our body, it is going to manifest in some manner. um, and you don't get to to make changes in your life based on by trying to suppress it, by not learning from it, because every emotion have certain information, and when we listen to it, when we listen to that part of ourselves, we can make those changes, um with with like we can make those right changes that aligns with all these parts. Okay, let's see. Jeanne Marie says, oh, I haven't tried this particular method, I will add it to my repertoire. Thank you, Cindy. Yeah, it is always amazing to just try different techniques and see what resonates with me the most. So it's nice of you, Cindy, to share all of this. And yeah, it's great, Jan, to see you just, filling your toolkit with these new techniques. Cindy says it truly works even when you are stressed. Yeah, it does. Caitlin says, I was swept. Just a second, I will drink some water before I continue. Caitlin says, I was swept up in grief and almost succumbed to a panic attack. And I calm myself by noticing all the blue things around me. You can also pick a letter and try to name words and then start with it. All kinds of tricks. Yeah, yeah, I love that as well. I think I mentioned some of these different ways in one of my courses, I think. I'm not sure if that is the one as well. So, in case if you guys are looking for like different techniques, so apart from the playlist, you can also check out this course of mine. Hmm. I think it's either this break from monotony or the ultimate beginner's guide to, mindfulness meditation. So it's either one of them. I don't remember in which one I mentioned. Um, let's see. Thank you so much, Anne Marie. Thank you so much for the donation, for your generosity. I so appreciate it. And I feel so happy to experience, to see that, some part of this life touched you, touched your heart, and even touched your soul in some manner. Thank you so much. I'm grateful. Jian says, everyone, what a great way to start my day. Thank you so very much. My day is calling to me and I need to log out, but I particularly appreciate all of you for the session. And we so appreciate you, Jian Marie. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm looking forward to have you in my next live, it is on day after tomorrow. So yeah, don't miss out. I would love to have you as well. And it is on the same time. Have a lovely day. Bye bye, Jian Marie. Okay, let's see. Vardhani says, I used to, but I knit very meditative. We pause and you also get a product, a scarf, etc. Exactly, a way to pause and a way to express and, create something beautiful in that process and have it with you as a reminder. Wow. Thank you for sharing that, Vardhani. We have so many, like, knitters and people who do crochet and stuff. Wonderful. Okay, we are going to like wrap the session with the last page number that was chosen. So I don't want to like leave in the middle. So Vardhani chose page number 71. So we're going to go with that and wrap the session on that page number. Let's see. Thank you so much, Vardhani. Thank you so much for the donation. I so appreciate it. Thank you. I'm glad that you liked the session and you resonated with some part of it. Thank you so much for supporting my journey. These donations really allow me to continue these free offerings, to keep coming back and yeah, to hold the space, this wonderful space with all of you beautiful people here. So thank you. Hmm. Okay, so there is a paragraph and there is a line on this page that is highlighted. And I'm going to read the line first because this reminded me of Caitlin, what Caitlin shared in previous live of ours, her intention or her action step for the day. Hmm. So, Chogyam Trungpa once remarked, openness is like the wind. If you open your doors and windows, it is bound to come in. Yeah, so that's the quote. And it reminds me of the lines that we read in this very live about our hearts opening and, closing. And, how when it is closed or when other energy centers in our body is closed, it is just, there is no natural flow of energy and that is blocked. And yeah, and it is amazing. Caitlin says, whoa. Yeah. So, Caitlin, it is a reminder to you and maybe to some other people to just open the windows at least of your homes and just let that fresh air in and maybe taking inspiration from that, opening your hearts. Okay, now I'm going to read the paragraph. Usually, when we are all caught up, we are so engrossed in our storyline that we lose our perspective. The painful situation at home, in our job, in prison, in war, whatever we might find ourselves when we are caught in the difficulty, our perspective usually becomes very narrow and microscopic, even. We have the habit of automatically going inward, taking a moment to look at the sky or taking a few seconds to abide with the fluid energy of life can give us a bigger perspective that the universe is vast, that we are a tiny dot in space, that endless, beginless space is always available to us. Then we might understand that our predicament is just a moment in time, and we have a choice to strengthen old habitual responses or to be free. I don't have anything to add to that. That seems like a perfect wrap for this session. And wow, there are 108 meditators here. Wonderful number as well. I so enjoyed the space, sharing the space with each and every one of you. And as we are at the end of this live, I just want to repeat a few things, starting with um, if you are interested, if you are a woman who is interested in working with me or have live coaching session with me, a free 1 hour coaching session with me, then you can message me on Insight Timer that you are interested, and I would love to offer you that. I would love to offer you an insightful conversation with me. And yeah, we can talk about it, we can schedule it on the messages. So feel free to message me. And if you are not a woman, but you know of women who might be interested, then you can send them my way as well. My name is Anisha Maheshwari. You can search for my profile. The way to message me is that if you're already following me, you would see three dots above the donate button. Click on the three dots, go to message teacher, and you can message me that way. And I would be looking forward to work with some of you and just make us change in your life. The other thing is that this live is getting recorded, and if you would like to get a replay of this as well as the previous lives, because this is the 33rd live of Wheel of Wisdom, then you can go to my profile. In the About section, you will see a link tree. Click on the link tree, and you will see Wheel of Wisdom replays. Even though this would take 1 hour to get uploaded on my channel, so you can check out after 1 hour, or you can join my group, Wonderful Beings on Insight Timer, and within 5 minutes of this live ending, I would post the summary or the lines that I read in this on that group, as well as the name of the books. And yeah, I do that after every live. And sometimes when I'm reading something else and I feel inspired to share that with my little community, then I do that also with my group. So I would love to have you in that little community. Cindy says, thank you for sharing your gifts and making us begin the day with the brightness. Thank you, Cindy, for bringing all that positive energy into the space. I appreciate you, and I appreciate every single one of you for your presence, for your beingness. And I'm grateful for all the comments, the interaction, the hearts that people pressed. And thank you so much, especially thank you so much, Gian Marie and Vardini, for the donation. I so appreciate it, and thank you so much for supporting my journey and allowing me to do this, to continue these lives day after day after day. So thank you for that. Um, okay, guys, so if you liked me or the space or what I offer, then you can, follow me. My name is Anisha Maheshwari, and you can check out my content. I have 7 courses, I have 30 plus tracks, few playlists on Insight Timer. So yeah, go to my profile, check the stuff if you are interested. And don't forget to message me if you are interested in that gifted session with me. I would love to offer you something of value in that session. Bye bye. Sending you so much love and light. Bye. Thank you for being here. I will see you day after tomorrow.